Welcome to the next episode of the Dark Web Deacon. Before we begin, be sure to smash that subscribe button, click the bell to turn on notifications, and check out the latest items in the Dark Web Deacon merch store. There is a link in the video description below, and become a true Dark Web enthusiast. New videos are published every Monday and Thursday. Over the past 20 years, the theme of the Dark Web, technology-based horror, and malicious hackers have become part of the Hollywood mainstream. For this list, I will look at 10 films based on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes rankings, along with overall dark web and technology-related content, film quality, and technical realism.
Number 10.
Hello? What do you want?
Do as I say and everything will be fine. Grab your laptop and get out of there.
Open Windows is a 2014 film starring Elijah Wood of Lord of the Rings fame who plays Nick. Nick is excited to discover that he's won a dinner date with his favorite actress, Jill Goddard. But when Jill refuses to honor the contest, he receives an offer he can't refuse, the ability to view Jill secretly via her computer. Nick begins watching the star on her webcam, not realizing that this decision will put himself and Jill at risk as they enter a terrifying world of cat and mouse where nothing is what it seems. This story is told in real time, almost entirely on the screen of a laptop, with practical cameras following multiple events, and various plot points revealed through pop-up windows on the screen. This film is a reflection of our digital world. It may have you putting black tape over the microphone and webcams on all your devices. Open Windows is a fun, mind-numbing cyber thriller.
Want to offer you. The man with the mask can't be anyone. We better stay out of it.
Drive! She's in the trunk.
I have a knife.
No. Don't do anything.
It's easy for me to show this to the police, Nick.
It's the police. They think it's you. They know where you are.
You can turn off the camera, you can turn off the computer, but remember, you're the one who wanted to see me so badly.
I'm sick of this. How do I get there?
If more than half of you who came to this website leave right now, she lives. You have 10 seconds. It's time to say goodbye.
Number 9.
Yeah, I just left. I'll be home about 10 minutes. Nightmare.
What's going on?
Red Room is a 2017 film in which 3 kidnapped women attempt to escape from their sadistic captors after being held in an isolated house. Some reviewers say this film is basically Hostel, with slightly worse acting and slightly better pacing. For the 3 protagonists in the film, it becomes apparently clear that they need to escape as soon as possible, as they are pretty sure they're about to be tortured and killed by their captors. It has the production values of a solid horror film, but the gore is not over the top compared to another Red Room-inspired film coming up on my top 10 list. If you are looking for an in-depth and fleshed-out plot, you need to look elsewhere. This is a film inspired by Red Room lore, so the basic plot is obvious. It is a low-budget movie. Unfortunately, even for a low budget, it does not add anything original or add a unique reinterpretation of the Red Room horror subgenre. I would save this for a watch, only if you are a hardcore fan of Red Room mythology.
There has to be a way out here.
Do you know where we are? We're in the middle of nowhere.
People pay to see people get murdered.
Number 8.
Red Room is an underground film from 1999. It is a short 68 minutes, but that is all most people can take due to the intense and disturbing nature of the film. The protagonists volunteer to participate in a mysterious game for a chance to win 10 million yen. They must take turns torturing their fellow players until only one is left. In this vicious game show to emerge from the Japanese underground, 4 contestants, a husband and wife on the edge of divorce, and 2 sisters, are locked in the Red Room to draw cards in the King game. Whoever draws the King selects the 2 others to enter a cage where one performs the most outrageous acts upon his or her unlucky victim. The game is played to the death. Survivor takes all, and the losers go home in body bags. There was also a sequel called Red Room 2, made in 2000, that followed the exact same storyline and format with new victims. If Red Room mythology is your thing and your stomach can handle it, this is the movie for you.
Number 7.
We all got these chain letters.
Delete.
You don't delete these. They threaten really terrible things.
Break the chain, lose a life?
Chain letter. Junk mail.
Chain Letter is a 2010 film in which 6 friends receive a mysterious chain letter via text messaging and in their email accounts from a maniac who's hunting down teenagers who failed to forward his online chain letter. This maniacal game pits friend against friend as they race to beat the rules that seem impossible to escape. This film definitely plays off the gimmick of the chain letter lore, in which if you don't forward the chain letter, something bad happens. If you grew up with horror classics from the 80s and 90s, you'll have a better appreciation for this movie, but is definitely not intellectually stimulating or has a very well-written story. But using the chain letter idea was different. It added a bit of variety to the plethora of Lost in the Woods or Stuck on a Desert Island slasher films. I would recommend this film for a rainy Sunday if you like slasher horror.
He knows whether or not we pass it on.
You send out 5 chain letters and then 5 pop up everywhere.
You gotta pass it on.
I don't want to die.
Number 6.
So, have you guys been up to much? Oh, can we actually do something because it's getting boring now?
What can we do though? Game night was like a few days ago.
You know that app we got last week? Zoom.
Zoom, yeah, I remember Zoom. We used it to get onto those American lectures. You can always try.
Zoom is a 2020 short film. The original title of the film was called Zoom, but has since been changed to Catering, so you may find it referenced under either title. This 36-minute short film starts with a Zoom conversation between 3 friends, Miles, Roddy, and Sigmund. They're bored and tired of the same old roleplay and card games. Randomly searching, they come across a Twitter account belonging to Joel8946. They decide to access his account, and before long, they're thrown into a nightmare, where their new host warns them that they shouldn't have joined, and rejoins the call even after being kicked out. First to be threatened is Roddy's little brother, who Roddy thinks is safe downstairs. Next, the omnipresent host forces his callers to admit to a series of misdemeanors, and failure to disclose their secrets will result in them being removed. This is the film in the same vein as The Host, which I highly recommend. This film is nowhere near the same level as The Host, but is short and sweet and good for a quick watch if you have 30 minutes to kill.
What happened to him? He's counted down. Miles, confess. What happened to him? Tell us what you bloody well want. Tell us now. What is going on right now? What? How could you keep something like this?
Number 5.
Mr. Black, how did you first get involved with Cicada 3301?
3301. They find themselves over their heads when forced to compete in a sophisticated global recruitment game run by the group. This film is an intense, high-speed. The film is very entertaining, especially for the first 45 minutes, but the second and third acts do drag a bit. But if you are a dark web and tech junkie like me, I think you will enjoy this film.
Number 4.
Why do you keep closing your laptop every time I walk by?
You look stressed.
Open this door!
Work's been crazy.
Silk Road is a 2021 film based on true events. This film is about the philosophical 20-something Ross Ulbricht who creates Silk Road, a darknet website that sells drugs, while DA agent Rick Bowden goes undercover to bring him down. It has some very solid actors, Nick Robinson, Alexandra Shipp, and Jason Clarke of Planet of the Apes and Zero Dark 30 fame, to name a few. But the film definitely uses dramatic license, where facts blend with fiction that run alongside real events. You can find some enjoyment as dramatization fills in the gaps and gets backed up by great acting. As someone who is well versed in the details behind Silk Road, this film focused solely on the worst days of DPR in Silk Road, skipping out every bit of his philosophical nature and peering into the bigger question of government control and the seemingly endless drug war. This is an enjoyable film with drama and action, but I would suggest watching the documentary Silk Road, Drugs, Death, and the Dark Web before or after watching this film to get the full story.
This website needs to be shut down immediately.
I'm the one that's gonna bring this brick down.
You crossed this line. There ain't no going back.
You're getting obsessive.
We get him on conspiracy to commit murder. Checkmate.
Come on, hold your breath.
What you doing with my money? This thing is gonna outlive all of us.
Number 3.
Someone's trying to kill me! Please, go drive now! I'm Miles, and this is the story of the worst day of my life.
Another schism.
Guns Akimbo is an interesting 2020 film. This film is about Miles, who is stuck in a dead-end programming job. He's still in love with his ex-girlfriend Nova, and he spends his waking hours between pining for her and scouring the internet as a social justice troll, cowardly leaving anonymous insults for those who post objectionable content online. Meanwhile, a cyber gang called Schism is running an ultra-violent game across his city, in which the violent criminals fight to the death for the entertainment of an online audience of millions. So we have another retelling of the Red Room myth here. He finds himself abducted and thrust into the game, forced to fight with an insane gun-crazed escaped lunatic. His only tools, but also his biggest handicap, are the 2 huge pistols that have been literally bolted onto his hands. Guns Akimbo is a cheesy, pop culture quoting, outrageously over-the-top assault on your senses, and that's what makes it so much fun.
I gotta kill you. Schism said they would wipe my slate tape.
No! Schism is gonna kill us both! No! I have a plan. It is totally suicidal, but it might work.
of the car, please. Come on. Please get out. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry. Oh, of course.
Did I win?
Number 2.
Little boxes on the hillside, little boxes made of ticky-tacky, little boxes on the hillside, and they all look just the same.
Escape Room is a 2019 film about 6 adventurous strangers who travel to a mysterious building to experience the escape room, a game where players compete to solve a series of puzzles to win $10,000. What starts out as seemingly innocent fun soon turns into a living nightmare as the 4 men and 2 women discover each room is an elaborate trap as part of a sadistic game of life or death. But the film does not stop you from being entertained with a thrilling direction that does keep you on the edge of your seat and plays around with the concept of characters going through several escape rooms and puzzle solving. Some critics describe it as a PG-13 version of the Saw movies. There are some great set pieces, tense moments, and decent acting throughout. The ending can be a little disappointing for some people, but overall I still highly recommend this film just to watch for a great time.
Is it getting hotter?
How do we get out of here?
It's Fahrenheit 451. Got it!
Talk about immersive.
What's wrong with you? That was real!
Whoa. Dumb question. Are we outside? The sooner we get this figured out, the sooner we get the hell out of here.
Who would do this?
Little boxes on the hillside, little boxes made of ticky-tacky.
They're watching us. They know every move that we're making.
There's a blue one.
They knew everything about us.
This is my hospital bed.
Me too. They made these rooms for us.
Have you ever seen things that weren't there before?
I am not imagining this.
Surviving is a choice.
I want out. Let me out of here. That's why they chose us.
And they all look just the same.
Number 1.
Pulse is a 2001 film. This film also goes by the title Caro and is an old-fashioned horror film with an internet backdrop. 2 groups of people discover evidence that suggests spirits may be trying to invade the human world through the internet. After college student Tagachi commits suicide, a number of young adults living in Tokyo witness terrifying visions transferred across the internet. As more people disappear throughout the city, the internet becomes a breeding ground for malevolent spirits. 3 seemingly disconnected stories follow Michi, Ruzaku, and Horu, and they attempt to solve the mystery behind the ghostly visions that are seeping beyond their computer monitors. I would recommend this film to anyone in the mood to engage in a thought-provoking narrative about the human condition with a scary and intense environment. If you like The Sixth Sense, The Others, or The Ring, this is a must-see. Thanks for watching, and as always, please like, subscribe, and provide comments, and turn on notifications by clicking the bell in order to check out future videos published twice a week.